It's the North London derby, Tottenham versus Arsenal at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. A lot of unknown about this game. Form always goes out the window, but in particular, new manager appointed, Igor Tudor. They say never fall in love with an interim manager. I am already. The things he's saying, the things he's done already, and there's a lot of hype around this game. Fans have to be the top man. Stay tuned to the very end to get my thoughts, to get the team news, predicted lineup, preferable lineup, and score prediction as well. Very keen to get your thoughts, whether you're a Spurs fan, Arsenal fan, or football fan. So do stay tuned. Welcome back to the channel. Hope you're all having a nice day wherever you may be listening. Such a huge game this weekend. Arsenal have dropped a lot of points in 2026. They've got opportunity for Tottenham to capitalise on that last amount against Wolves. Arsenal drawing the game. I think there's real vulnerability with Arsenal this year, and I think there's a mentality point of thing. It's in your head. Oh my God, we haven't won for 2 games. Oh my God, this is a repeat of the previous 2 seasons. But Arsenal, make no mistake about it, they're going to have fire in the belly to put it right, because they cannot afford to have 3 games in a row without a win. I can't do that when you're in a title race. Nobody can, whether it just be Arsenal or not. So there's something for Tottenham to get at. I think Tottenham can and will come out absolutely flying. We should as well come out flying out the blocks. Are Arsenal going to have a lot of the ball? Are Arsenal going to dominate? Probably most of the time. Yes, they probably are. Absolutely. I think Tudor is happy with that. But I believe that we'll be really aggressive and we're counter quick. We'll be bold. We'll be brave when we have got the ball. I think we're happy to sit back, but when we get it, there's a real purpose to win the game. This isn't going to be frank that we're trying to get a 0-0 result, if we're being honest about it. So you have to feel confident. You have to feel confident in this type of game. And I think, listen, form doesn't really matter, because we'll definitely play a different formation, different personnel. Everything's different. But I view it as Tudor's not got a lot of toys to play with, but still, hopefully those toys can get a bit more life out of them, still get a few more years out of them if you're linking it to toys. But no, it's going to be a fantastic game. I think it's set up to be anyway. And in terms of team news for Arsenal versus visitors, Mick Arteta in his press conference said that Kai Havertz and Odegaard, there's a huge possibility they're involved and at least make the bench. For Tottenham, no injured players expected to be back. Dominic Solanke's only just come back. He had a throat problem, so he's only had 2 training sessions, so touch and go, but probably will make it. I reckon. Be surprised if he does miss it, just because it's a throat, and he's been back a couple of games, so he should, a couple of days rather as well, so he should be okay. So, listen, I'm confident going into it, but also I can't be blind. Arsenal probably the best team in the world right now. I don't want to talk about them. I think we need to focus on ourselves, and that's key in this game. Tottenham have to focus on themselves. We need to ditch the ideology of and the thought process of focusing on the opposition, on what we can't do, Of course, we need to be mindful of what Arsenal can bring and recognise how good they are. And that's what makes us nervous. But at the same time, we've got to be bold. So going into it, on screen would be my lineup. I would go with a 3-4-2-1. I know it's 3-5-2, but it's not really, because I've adapted it. I'd personally start, read it out and talk you through it. Vicario in goal, Gray, Dragusin and Van der Ven as the centre-backs, Sousa left-back, Spence right-back, Paulinho and Basuma in midfield, with Tal and Xavi Simons sitting behind Dominic Solanke. So Vic in goal, as much as I think Kinski deserves an opportunity, Vicario frustrates me. Again, very risky to do this in North London derby, and Kinski has holes in his hands, although he may be good with his feet when we've seen him anyway, although he was thrown in the deep end. Back 3 then, Romero being out makes it incredibly difficult. Danso as well. Romero was his choice. Danso wasn't. That's what's frustrating with Romero as well. You shout and bawl about, and rightly so, they were down to bare bones, and you're absolutely right, and then you go and do that. Oh, so frustrating. I can't tell you. I'd much rather Gray at centre back than Paulinho. It's nothing against Paulinho. He does a job there, but I like Paulinho. I want him in midfield simply. I think I'd go with Spence and Sousa as the right backs instead of square pegs in round holes. Both their natural position. I'd rather Sousa at left back than, again, trying to force something, try and play Van der Ven kind of as a full back and put Byfield in. Or I don't think that's the right thing to do. I'd rather have players that natural to their position. I recognise that Paulinho and Basuma is defensive and very risky because the ability of passing. But I think Basuma, when he's on it, and he's concentrated, I think he can play those cut-through passes. Again, I recognise that creativity might be a problem. Hence why I'd go with Matthias Tell in that team and Xavi Simons behind Dominic Solanke. This system would require a lot from the fullbacks attackingly. And then I'll go Dom Solanke up top. Kylan Wani, I think, has a part to play in this. Of course, I previously worked under Tudor. And with the players who got out, definitely has a part to play. So that'd be my team. I think Tudor, though, who we trust, Tadeusz Tudor. Tudor is to do, whichever way you want to say it. I like that. So I think he'd make 2 changes to what I would do. I think he'd go Gallagher over Basuma. I think that's recognise that straight away. I think he will go with Kylan Wani instead of Matthias Tell, which I'm sure will frustrate fans a little bit. But he's got that relationship already there with Matthias Tell, with Kylan Wani rather than Matthias Tell, I should say. So that's what I think he'll go with. And that's a little bit more attacking, a little bit more bold. but I'd feel a lot more comfortable, of course, having Basuma and Palhinha there. Having said that, Basuma's always got a mistake in him. What would your team be? What do you think Tudor will go with? Either or both? Let me know in the comments below. Score prediction there. My heart, of course, goes 2-1 Spurs. Let's get the win. Derail Arsenal. Kind of big dent in their title hope, and big boost in our relegation battle, or battle for just ultimately to improve. Because even if we finish 12th, really happy with that where we are now, but still a poor season overall. So down if you do, down if you don't for Igor Tudor, but I'm fully behind him. They say never fall in love, like I said there in the intro, with an interim manager, but comes in, takes goes out to dinner with all the Spurs players, and comes out saying 100% we won't get relegated. We're going to win games, we're going to play to win, dare us to do. We're going to represent the club. Just all these things that he's saying, shake all the journalists' hands. Really, really positive Igor Tudor so far. Cannot speak highly enough of him. Score prediction, though, Harry, don't get distracted. I'm going to go with 1-1. I think we need to realise how good Arsenal are, but also there is a mistake there. And I think Wolves, proved that there is a mentality problem potentially within Arsenal, not as good as we thought, but still right now the best team in Europe, if not the world, in my view. 1-1, though. I think that in course context, hindsight is critical. It's important. We don't have the beauty of either, hindsight in particular, but I think a draw would be a good result. Get involved in the comments below. How do you feel about it? Line up and score prediction. Whether you be a Spurs fan, Arsenal fan, or football fan. So thank you very much for watching. Of course, as a Spurs fan, I'm inclined to say a massive come on you, Spurs.